Hey everybody, Hurricane here. So today we finally got the patch now for like the PTR coming for season 4. This is gonna run between April 2 to April 9. So I do suggest that you just drop in, test the new changes, give some feedback to the developers. At the end of the day, this really helps everybody. So covering these changes, basically itemization, we now gonna have rare items dropping with only 2 affixes. Legendaries, they're gonna drop with 3 affixes. So they're reducing like the pool of affixes, the dropping with items, making them more like powerful, more potent, like they call it. Relevant affixes, they're gonna drop like rank of a single core skill instead of like each core skill. So it's gonna make it pretty good. Only secret items are gonna drop on World Tier 3, Ancestrals on World Tier 4. That's actually pretty nice. As I say, affixes values like the ranges, it got tuned up to be puncture. It's basically what they say. Before you were able like to get, I don't know, 42 to all stats. Now it's gonna be like 80 to all stats. Pretty good, actually. New affixes and positioning of affixes. Interesting. So we're getting resource per second, resource on kill, lucky hit, apply vulnerable. That's actually nice. Many builds require specific aspects and skills to actually apply vulnerable. It's pretty cool. Life per hit. That's actually insane that we're getting that. That adds a lot of survivability to many builds. Ranks to basic skills. That's actually nice. Many builds that relies on these actually can get even more ranks to those basic skills. So gems are getting reworked too. Like the ruby, sapphires, all of that's getting reworked. Gems now have like core stats, probably like the steadity, willpower, and the conditional bonuses are getting simplified. I'm not sure how they're gonna do that. That's actually pretty interesting to see. Items drop from enemy level 95 plus is always gonna be level item power 925. Really interesting because when you get into the end game, you no longer have to chase that 925. You're guaranteed you're gonna get it. You just have to actually focus yourself on getting the affixes that you need. That's actually pretty good improvement towards like not having a loot filter. Which in my opinion, if the loot that drops is lower, if it's puncture, if it's good, and if you know it's 925, you have to spend too much time to actually find a really good base item to craft on. Which now it leads us to the new system called Tempering, which is basically the new crafting system they're adding into the game. Finally, Diablo 4 is getting crafting. Crazy, but we have it here. How it works is pretty simple. It can look complicated, but itself is pretty simple. You know, they right now show here like it's just a weapon, so you can only use weapons and offensive affixes on this. How you like obtain those affixes, you're gonna like as you progress through the open world, manuals, they call it manuals, books, whatever, they're gonna drop for you. You're gonna pick them up and they're gonna have a handful of affixes inside of that. Those ones is the one that you're gonna use to add like specific affixes to your gear. So the first 2 that you add either to a rare items or a legendary item is gonna be free. It's not gonna affect these. What does tempered durability means? It means that if you add an affixes that you did not want to and you want to re-roll it, you can, but you have to be careful because once this number runs out, it hits 0. If you didn't get what you want, the item is not longer useful, it's broken. So we're still having RNG associated with this. So it has to be meaningful when you are actually doing. If not, you're gonna break your item. So, Codex of Power. Finally, we are getting a rework of Codex of Power. How it's gonna work? Right here. All aspects is gonna get stored in your Codex of Power as it has to be from the beginning of the game. How you're gonna do it? I think you're gonna have all aspects unlocked from the beginning with their minimum role. As you progress through the game, you find legendaries which are aspects. You're gonna keep salvaging them at the blacksmiths. Once you salvage it, it's gonna upgrade the power in your Codex of Power with the value that you just salvage it. They also added like a type of progress to this, like in World Tier 2, 1 or 2, which they call normal. It's probably it's gonna have a range. Even if you get a max roll, it's not gonna be like the actual max roll. When you get into World Tier 3, it's gonna increase. World Tier 4 is gonna finally increase to the maximum it can give you. That's pretty interesting because it acts like a chase for aspects. It's gonna be per season. You're gonna unlock it. It's gonna be there forever for you for the whole season. Once the season ends, you have to do it all over again. But basically, it's how seasons work. If you're playing Eternal, it's gonna be there forever for you. So pretty interesting how they do that. I'm actually excited for that. We're getting changes to how Helltide works. This is insane. They added like a meter. They call it the threat meter. So what does that do? That the more mobs you kill, it's gonna start building up. Once it reaches, they say right here, tier 3, you will become Hell Market. Achieving maximum threat will initiate like a brief ambush frenzy of maximum enemy density. So you're gonna get ambushed. There's gonna be a lot of mobs spawning at you, and at the end of that event, that is gonna be there to chase you. You're gonna have like a Hellborn that it will spawn. Typically, they took that from season 2, like the vampires. They call it the Block Seekers. They reworked it. Now it's called the Hellborn. It's gonna spawn. It's gonna be really hard to kill. It's gonna give you a bunch of rewards, probably materials and stuff like that. That's really it's exciting to actually play Helltides. I didn't say, but Helltide is gonna be available in World Tier 1 and World Tier 2. A more simplified version of the Helltide. It's not gonna be too difficult to play. They actually remove it a bit of difficulty from it. It's gonna get difficult once you enter like a World Tier 3 and World Tier 4. Definitely looking to play this. There's different events they added in the Helltide, but there's one specific that's gonna be global, and you need the so-called Baneful Hearts that can be primarily earned through opening torture gift chests and can be used on the Aquarius Ritual location, which is this, to summon the Blood Maiden. So you can summon a Blood Maiden, and which is gonna be like a powerful demonic creature, which is gonna offer you a lot of rewards. Interesting. We'll have to see how it actually plays out, but it sounds pretty good. So following here, the new end game system they adding, the pit of the artificer, but basically pit or so-called reward greater rift from Diablo 3. How you're gonna do it? As soon as you enter World Tier 4, you're gonna get like a priority quest that will tell you to finish a tier 46 nightmare dungeon. Once you finish it, it's gonna unlock this, and it's gonna allow you to like choose different tiers of difficulty so you can start beating them up. Why you have to do it? It's required to do it because they're also adding masterworking into the game. Let me see if I can find it here. Masterworking right here. Masterworking is like a late game crafting system which basically will allow you to upgrade 12 times your item. It's gonna have every 4 ranks. It's gonna like do a crit into an item. What the crits means is gonna take a random affixes and it's gonna increase it by 25%. That's really huge. It's not limited like per affixes. You can crit the same affixes 3 times. You can create different affixes that you want. There's no limit. What is actually pretty interesting about this is once you get the item that you want, you have it pretty set up. There's no way you can break it because you can keep doing it. You reach at rank 12, you did it again, and then it resets. The only thing that you're gonna be wasting is materials, but at least you have the comfort that it's not gonna break the item that you actually worked a lot to get, that you crafted. It's not gonna break it. So this is a really interesting way to, you know, keep adding like more content for us to do. Pretty interesting. I'm looking to do this. Also, I didn't mention, but they're also adding greater affixes. So what does that mean? Greater affixes, not sure if they have like a picture here, but it means that when the item drops, it drops with 3 affixes. You can get up to those 3 affixes to be really increased. For example, if you get like up to 80 dexterity on the rogue, it can go like 125 dexterity from the beginning right there. You can also masterwork that and keep increasing it like crazy. You cannot craft into into a greater affix item, because if you craft into it, I'm sorry, if you enchant it and you re-roll the item, because you can still re-enchant items and re-roll the 3 stats of affixes that you get from the beginning. If you can do it, but you're gonna break the item, you're gonna remove the greater affixes. What they mean that you cannot enchant into a greater affix. You cannot craft into a greater affix. It's drop only. You have to find it, and good luck doing it, because sometimes it can be really hard to get, but at the same time it makes actually finding items pretty interesting. So we get in the pit. The pit is basically like a greater rift, a really high tier dungeon difficulty that's gonna be scaling off up to like hundreds of tiers. So if you can make a build that can withstand the damage and also have the damage to take down the mobs and the boss at the end, that's actually gonna be a challenge. We got the boss ladder updates. What is the boss ladder updates? Is they're adding a new overboss, the Echo of Ontario. So that's actually nice to see her back. It's gonna have her mechanics for a boss. It's gonna have the same drop table as Duriel, so you can farm her for overs. How you obtain so many materials by killing the beast in the eye and low sears. They're also adding tormented version or over version of all the current bosses that you can target farm them. I think they added here like defeating your first tormenting echo drops 1 resplendent spark. I can't understand these either. Each time you kill an over, including Lily, because I saw a post by Adam that you can actually get an resplendent spark by killing Lily the first time. You're gonna get a spark. I'm not sure it's gonna be per over boss or just one for all the bosses, depending on which one, whatever you kill. Also, I'm not sure it's just gonna be one time only, or you can redo it per season. If you can redo it per season, you probably guarantee at least almost 2 overs for you. You don't need to farm the real, only if you want. So that's pretty nice. They're adding actually a ladder to, actually test your skills. But how you can play this PTR. So on the 2nd of April, you can, if you own the Battle.net app, you can go to the Battle.net app. It's gonna have like a way to install the PTR. You downloaded it and you just drop in. They're gonna have like a forum page that you can go in, report whatever you find that you think it has to be changed. Whatever you feel is not actually, it's not performing how you want. It's too overpowered. It's underperforming. The feedback is really important for the developers. Why it's important? Because they're gonna take that feedback, they're gonna take a whole month to implement all the changes that we report. So when season 4 drops, hopefully we get a pretty nice patch. So I'm gonna be blasting the PTR. I'm pretty happy with all the changes that were coming. So I will see you guys there. Thank you.